the radio down. Yeah, you can see I've driven it 20 miles this time. Yep. I took it uptown. Had somebody plug it in with an OB2 $15,000 computer to I don't know why this thing keeps dying. And this is it. See the busted green wire? It's actually been rubbing on the Hall effects that comes around. It's been rubbing on it. You can see it's busted. That's the one. So we put a different one on it. Drove it 20 miles. Drove it 100 miles an hour down the interstate. Runs fine. Actually, it runs really, really smooth. Shakes like a bitch because these tires are out of balance or something. The radio does work. It was in safe mode yesterday because we had the battery unplugged. But I'm going to go ahead and put the axles in it now. And I guess he's going to come and get it tonight. Here's my axles. So we'll get those in it and be rid of this thing. Tired of looking at it. Just kind of get overwhelmed, you know, with it running, trying to figure out what's wrong with it, and you just get blind. I'd actually changed cam sensors 2 or 3 days ago, and I must have grabbed another bad one. You know, and hell, I might have taken the one off, and I even think about this now. I may have taken the one off, set it down, picked it up, put it right back on, not even thinking. Oh well, it's fixed now. It was getting an intermittent signal from the cam sensor. So that's what it was. I got to put the driving lights in, these 2 plastic things, 2 axles, and I'll be done with this thing in a couple hours. Alright, on the axles, I got to have this big 17mm Allen to get those loose, and then there's about 10 bolts to hold the axle to the actual transmission. I'm going to go ahead and get those loose. They're in there. Get a long extension. You need a 10mm star. It's actually a, what they call it, a 4-sided box. There's the old axle. Once the CV boots are torn and all the grease is slung out on them, they're generally junk. And an outboard CV joint costs more than a pair of axles. So you might as well just buy a new pair of axles. And it goes in right through here. I did pull the 2 upper control arms out of my way so I wouldn't have to fight with it so bad. But I'm going to stick it back together. Now we did get 2 different bolts with these things. There's 2 different bolts. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put this one on the other side. I'm just going to put one of these back because I've got those. They say you don't reuse them to torque to yield, but they're not torque to yield. They're freaking impossible to torque to yield. So we'll go ahead and stick this one in and move on to the other side. There we go. 1 new axle so far. 1 more to go. Alright, got the axles in. All the rubber's around the hood. The plate that goes up there. The hood shield is just sitting here because it's only got 1 bracket. The bracket's got back there is missing the clip. There's no bracket right here. Full of water, full of oil. Tires are pumped up. All of the leftover stuff that belongs to him is in the trunk. Hubcaps, oil pan gasket and stuff that we bought that didn't belong. I threw his old headlights in the garbage because of junk. I actually did leave the plastic on that headlight there. And then Made sure everything was bolted and screwed like it belongs. And there it goes. Surprising thing is the radio works. There's his manual. I'm going to leave his fuse box door off because there's a couple of fuses missing. He's going to have to figure out what's missing and put back in it. And that's it. We're going to back her outside. I've put 35 miles on it since we got it back together. There it goes. And the driving lights work. What I do is when I put these grills in, I actually put one zip tie holding the center and the side sections together on both sides. So they don't fit very well. And even mine rattles loose and it looks funny. So you put a zip tie on it, it holds everything lined up like it's supposed to. The headlights work. Good to go.